coming up in this video. If a video is not available to the public, then you don't have to explain why it's fake, even when it really isn't. These are 30 scary videos that skeptics want deleted. Number 30. Playing with your hair. Perhaps one of the creepiest videos ever to grace the internet. This clip will definitely make you a believer. Published by Real Ghost Videos, the original source of this upload is unknown. Filmed at around 3 in the morning, the cameraman enters a room where a child is sitting cross-legged, staring off into the distance. A pair of hands are playing with her hair. The hands assumedly belong to a child hiding in the cupboard behind her, but when the cameraman races over to see who is there, there's nothing but an inanimate doll inside, and not even one with lifelike hands. This doll is stuffed with no discernible fingers. The cameraman shakes the girl, trying to wake her, but she seems in a trance. What's going on here? Is something supernatural happening before our very eyes? I'm convinced. Number 29. Mountain lion. Alligators aren't the only wildlife threats. Published by Jason Clay in February of 2022, residents in Boulder, Colorado had the fright of their lives when they discovered a mountain lion hunkered down under the property.
Oh, okay.
The lion was hiding below a deck one morning when the Colorado Parks and Wildlife officers, along with the Boulder Open Space and Mountain Parks Rangers and Boulder Police Animal Protection officers were called in to help. The footage shows the officers trying to lure the lion out. The lion snaps at the jab pole aggressively but remains in place. The big cat almost grabs it out of the officer's hand. Another clip shows how deeply the officers were forced to climb under the deck to get to him. They managed to tranquilize the cat and grip its paws with 2 poles to pull him out. He was then safely relocated back into the wild. Although many in the comments are thankful for these officers' humanity while relocating the lion, commenter Nighthawk writes, "I would have just let him stay. He looked comfortable. Hopefully he'd start paying rent." Number 28. Half body. This dog is scared of something, and you're about to find out what. Published by Real Ghost Videos, the original source of this re-upload is unknown. The clip shows a white dog running around in the middle of a road at night. He pauses as he becomes alert to this pair of legs running around. A young boy enters the frame, but it's unclear if he also sees the half body. The pair of legs dressed in white pants disappear into the darkness, and viewers are left to wonder if what they just saw is real or has somehow been staged. Is this a chicken with its head cut off situation? If not, how is this video created? It sure doesn't look like CGI to me. Number 27. Imaginary friend. When a ball starts playing with your daughter by itself, get rid of the ball or burn that house to the ground. Posted on TikTok, highly suggested writes, "Imaginary friend isn't so imaginary." The video shows a little girl playing in the living room at Christmas time with a small red ball on the floor. She keeps the ball on the ground and seems to be talking to her imaginary friend. After crossing the room, the ball rolls toward her on its own. One TikToker says it's tied to her leg, but others counter that, saying it wouldn't have rolled past her then. What do you think? Is this her imaginary friend come to life? Number 26. Gator Gate. Picture this. You're out paddleboarding when you see a gator the size of Godzilla creeping toward your toes. Published by WUFT News in September of 2021. That's what happened to the 60-year-old paddleboarder in Ocala, Florida. The video, credited to Vicky Baker in Fresh Take, Florida, was captured on a camera phone as the nearly 12-foot alligator approached its would-be lunch on Silver River. The only thing between her and this fright was a piece of fiberglass and foam. The gator slowly drifts toward her on the clear emerald water, bumping its snout against her board, as Baker orders it to get away and prepares to defend herself with her paddle.
What are you doing? Get away from me. Get away from me. No.
The gator looks like he is completely ignoring her. He doesn't listen and just continues drifting until she pushes him away with her paddle, causing him to hiss at her.
Oh my God, I had to push him away with my paddle.
At least he doesn't react aggressively to the move, though he does redirect back toward her after drifting off. Someone off screen tells Baker to back up because she just made him mad.
Ma'am, I would suggest backing up considering you just made him pretty mad.
I felt like she handled the situation well, though. It'd be hard not to panic given the circumstances. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission removed the alligator from the habitat and ended its life. Considering the animal a threat, Florida State estimates 1.3 million alligators live across the state's waterways. Number 25. Intruder's attempt. A stranger with bad intentions was thwarted by nothing but a locked door in this video. Published in April of 2018 by WPLG Local 10, this home security footage in Pinecrest, Florida is stomach-churning. At around 2:30 a.m., the suspect is seen approaching the front door of this Florida home, as the homeowner described it, walking like a cat. He tries the handle, and after the door proves to be secure, the man leans over to peer through the window. The homeowner hopes sharing the security footage with the public will help identify the man. After talking with neighbors, they alleged that the same man had broken into their vehicles, but the report didn't state whether he'd made off with anything. He did make off with one thing, however: their peace of mind. Number 24. Marooned Mermaid. This group of friends encountered something few of us have ever seen in the flesh, something that washed ashore. Originally published by Trip Piso, the friends were running across a beach at night when they spotted a large figure splayed out in the sand. The video shows the group running toward it. They find that the unknown creature has a long tail and the torso and head of a human. The mermaid or merman is face down in the sand and appears to have gotten caught up in seaweed or rope of some kind. It's unclear if the capture was an accident or if someone or something tried to poach it, but whatever happened, the mythical creature's life was cut short as a result. What would you do if you encountered something in this condition? Would you try to revive it? What do you think? Was this staged by a group of friends, or is this the real deal? Number 23. Growing shadow figure. We've seen many strange shadow figures here on Chills, but this one wins. Originally posted on TikTok by Unanswered Universe, an inky black shadow figure is spotted in an alleyway at night. The figure appears big at first, but grows even larger and appears to morph. It is either growing in size or standing up from a crouched position. When at full size, it's as large as the building beside it. The cameraman is talking throughout the clip.
No, I did that. No, I did. I did it. So, no, don't. It's not my name. It's not.
But it's not clear if it's an audio overlay or if the cameraman is talking to the figure in the moment. In any case, what he's saying doesn't seem relevant to the situation.
Just, if you have to be that loud, I just no, it's so loud.
Well, some are freaked out by this shadow creature. Others are just wondering if Woody Allen filmed this clip based on the dude's voice. Seems like there's a lot to wonder about when it comes to this video. Number 22. Gamer Ghost. This distracted gamer had no idea that a ghost was playing around over his shoulder. Published by I'm Viggy in November of 2021. The gamer is engrossed in his game when a toy sitting on a countertop takes a flying jump to the floor. Although the gamer looks concerned and has no idea what just happened, it appears he's thinking the explanation might be of the paranormal variety, saying there's an empty wall behind his PC. Given that knowledge, I think he might be onto something. Number 21, life-taking creature. This creature will haunt your dreams. Published by Brazilian channel Facts and Mysteries in February of 2022, a paranormal explorer claims an aberration almost took his life. Let's see how. While in this haunted place, he's first startled by something behind him.
Oi, tem alguém aí?
When he runs over to a nearby room, there's something strange on the ground, but he fails to investigate. Using an EMF meter, he gets a reading on a staircase. Later, on another dark staircase, the cameraman's flashlight starts malfunctioning. Are the energies of this place the cause? Nah, it was probably this. Although we can't clearly see what he's up against, the unknown makes this even scarier. We do catch a clearer glimpse a second time. Still, I'm not sure what this thing is. Any ideas? Whatever it is, Skeptics want it deleted. Number 20, Home Alone. This video begs the question, paranormal or intruder? Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Grand Slammer 0891. This footage was captured on the Redditor's buddy's home security camera in Mansfield, Massachusetts. The footage shows a figure, either very short or hunched over, skulking in the windows. The figure is only captured crossing in the darkness, not in the light from the kitchen around the corner. You can also see a dog's ears perk up from behind the sofa to the right. The problem is, the video starts right when the figure appears. In order to confirm any validity of this video as paranormal, you would need to see the moments leading up to the figure's appearance. But the Redditor says in the comments that the security camera is motion activated, and this was where it started. The friend was away at the time and the house was empty. Some suggest that it's perhaps not paranormal but an intruder, or even more than one intruder. Redditor the Darsh notes, I was looking through that doorway in the top right, where it looks like something crosses the doorway and a light even changes color. Could a pair of intruders be working in tandem? It's a mystery for now. Hopefully one day we will get some answers. Number 19, Village of the Ghosts. A living person is guarding this Village of the Ghosts. Published by Dark Ghost Paranormal in April of 2021. This witch's forever home is literally forever. You might even say eternal. Dennis is staking out the surrounding area when he hears something inside. He says he'll wait until darkness to see if the light will come on, but he doesn't have to wait. Someone is seen in the yard moving from one building to the other. Dennis notes that it's scary that the man didn't answer the door when he knocked. That night, he finds a mysterious object hanging by a heavy chain in the barn. Dennis looks at what's in the bag and seems surprised by what he finds, but before viewers are made privy to the discovery, he hears something from outside. He flees but later returns to the house and heads inside. That's when he finds this. What looks like a red coffin is sitting at the center of the room. He returns to his tent and, after starting a large fire, takes shelter inside. He keeps hearing terrifying sounds wailing through the night. He then hears something approaching the tent. Dennis says it's right next to him. After the sound disappears, Dennis exits his tent and sees a flashlight beam breaking through the darkness. Returning to his tent, Dennis listens as the mysterious flashlight man approaches.
Он подошел впритык. Просто рядом со мной.
You can see the man enter his campsite on a secondary camera. The man just wanders and then leaves. But Dennis sees him again the next morning through the thick trees. What does he want? Why is he watching? Number 18, figure in the hallway. Are you sleeping? You won't be for long. Published to the Paranormal Evidence subreddit. Rami Koye 0820 writes, watch doorway. It appears to be pacing back and forth into a wall. As the glow from the TV casts light across the room, a foggy figure is seen crossing the hallway several times. After a while, the Redditor gets out of bed and heads into the hallway to check things out. She notes that several light anomalies flutter past the camera while she's looking. She also says in the comments that she was alone in the house and that this has been going on every day for a month. She also experienced other odd happenings for 2 years since she moved in, including voices and bangs. Many in the comments are rightly creeped out by this clip. Some note that you can even hear the figure walking past. Redditor Dougie345 also spots something else writing. It looks like at the end of the bed something pops up under the blanket a little bit. Is that your feet? The Redditor says it's not her feet, and she's experienced something playing at her feet before. Advice in the comments ranges from cleansing the house to getting the police involved because she may have a squatter, but in my opinion, this thing doesn't look human. Number 17, apparition follows. When flagging a cab, common courtesy is to let the ghost go first. Posted by Ghost Videos in July of 2020, the CCTV footage from 2012 shows a passenger waiting for a taxi at night on a quiet road. A cab pulls up and the passenger approaches the back door. That's when an apparition, hunched with either long black hair or a dark head wrap, appears out of nowhere and follows him into the back seat. Although the woman could have perhaps been hidden completely behind this beam near the road, it certainly doesn't seem like it. The beam is too narrow to conceal her entirely. The woman also appears semi-transparent at points. It doesn't seem to be due to the camera's quality, because the man appears completely solid. Is this poor passenger being stalked by a ghost? He'd better get rid of her before she follows him home. Number 16, Bat House. This abandoned structure is full of bats, but that's not the only thing creeping within its walls. Published by Grey Wolf in January of 2022. This paranormal crew never experienced anything like this before. The crew is wandering through an abandoned building that's full of bats when something unseen starts to make a lot of noise. Things are being thrown, broken, and the crew doesn't know who the culprit is. They look inside but find only more bats, but we know they weren't the only ones making this noise. After looking around further and finding nothing but strange noises, a chair is thrown from near a hallway and then a strange blast is heard. Are the bats joining together to become one super bat? Or do we have a Batman on our hands? Number 15, open and closed. What would you do if you encountered this mess? Published in August of 2011, Dalish Possession unveils the aftermath of what he assumes must be poltergeist activity in his kitchen. He says he entered the kitchen at around 11 p.m., only to find every single cabinet and drawer open.
I came out of my computer room, which is right there, and every single drawer in my kitchen is open. There has been some.
He says there must have been strange noises, and he just wanted to document the results.
Strange noises going on at night, and I just wanted to document this really quickly.
Dalish writes, "This is the second time this has happened in 2 days. I'm going to try to set up a camera to catch what's going on.
I mean, there's no other way about a poltergeist, right? Or a ghost. This is the second time that this has happened.
Will this poltergeist become shy with an audience, or will he become even more aggressive? Number 14, work ghost. Something paranormal is messing with this warehouse worker. The worker in question is looking around the warehouse with fear pumping through his veins. He looks all around him, not seeing or hearing anything out of the norm. Until this happens. Several boxes are thrown from their stack.
¿Qué pasó?
The man searches around to find the culprit, who we all assume must be hiding behind the stacked boxes. But when the worker moves around to the other side of the boxes, you see there is nowhere to hide here. It's a solid stack. The culprit remains at large. Number 13. Look out behind you. Sometimes the real action is right over your shoulder. Published by Artyom Masalsky. In March of 2013, Artyom is working facing his computer, but look at what's going on behind him. A black object on the chair lifts ever so slightly before falling back into place. Then the bedroom door swings open, but it doesn't just remain ajar. It continues to swing open and closed until it closes completely, only to open again a short time later. An outfit hanging on the wall lifts at the same time. It rises into the air until it's hanging high. Then it inches curiously down again until it's crumpled at the top of the chair. Is this what's happening to all of us just out of sight? We can only hope not. Number 12, Chupacabra. Is this just a rabid dog or a chupacabra? Published in March of 2022, a chupacabra appears to be prowling around this backyard. A camera caught this image, a maniacal dog-like monster peering over a gate. A close-up of the chupacabra-esque animal baring its teeth is startling. Chupacabra or not, one thing's for sure. You don't want to encounter this creature at night, or any time for that matter. Number 11, Northeast Paranormal Investigation Society. These paranormal investigators are on to something. Published by CT Style in September of 2013, this report follows the Northeast Paranormal Investigation Society in Connecticut as they explore historic venues in New England. In one clip, the crew is in a historic bedroom in Dub's Tavern, introducing themselves to the resident ghost. Upon his introduction, Adam hears a response.
Andy, my name is Adam.
Apparently, no introduction is necessary. The ghost already knows who he is. A second clip that Adam shares shows a shadow move spookily over a mannequin. This occurs in a quiet room in Deacon John Grave House in Madison, Connecticut. No one was in the room at the time. It does not appear to come from a shadow cast from outside, so investigators conclude that it may be a shadow figure. A third video shows the dining room in the Butler McCook House in Hartford. This clip shows an orb moving up and down on the left side of the screen. Adam says the difference between dust and an orb is that an orb has a sense of purpose in its flight pattern, which this anomaly clearly does. Do these paranormal clips convince you? Or are you still a skeptic? Number 10, Dogman. This sighting happens in a flash. Published by Bigfoot's Testimony in February of 2022, a group of friends believes they've caught a dogman in the forest on camera.
Dude, you see that?
A hairy-looking figure is spotted crouching amongst the trees. As the group spots it, the figure stands up abruptly. It appears to be 6 to 8 feet tall. The figure makes off into the forest, its arms waving, while some in the comments are in doubt, remarking that its walk is too human.
No, dude, what the heck is that? No, dude, you see that? Oh my god. Dude, Bryson, tell me you don't see that. What is that?
Others say it looks legit and they've seen something similar in the forest. Which side are you on? I think that forest needs further investigation. Number 9. Haunted home. Paranormal activity wreaks havoc in this home. Published in February of 2018. A young boy experiences a series of paranormal happenings in this video. He is first seen entering his family's kitchen, where he fills a glass of water. Everything appears normal, but after he leaves, his little cup inches toward the edge of the counter before tumbling off. The boy re-enters the kitchen to see what fell and replaces the cup on the counter. Right after he leaves, something disturbs the curtains and a cupboard flies open. But the kitchen isn't the only haunted place in this house. Back in the living room with the kids, an object tumbles from an upper shelf. Later, a mysterious figure is seen creeping in the hallway. At first hooded, the figure seems to be lurking in a corner, but when he walks the other way, he is no longer fully robed. The way this figure walks makes me think that it's not an intruder, but paranormal. The boy must have felt a presence because he gets up to go see what's going on but finds nothing. He returns to his seat on the couch. Would you be able to return to your shows after experiencing this? Seems a little nonchalant to me. Number 8. Girl in the Road. Nothing Good Happens at Night. Published by Proud Talks in March of 2022. This scary clip was captured on a remote dirt road. A man is driving steadily down this road in the darkness when he encounters a young girl in white. She has long dark hair and is standing stiffly with her back toward the oncoming car. Her arms are held straight at her sides. Upon the car's approach, she doesn't turn around. She doesn't even move. Sadly, I couldn't find the context for this clip, but I think this short video has us all dying to know what happens next. Number 7. Mysterious floating object. What is this floating object in the sky over Mexico? Posted to the Mexico subreddit. UFO Seeker 1985 wants to know what others think of this video. The footage was filmed in February of 2022. It shows a mysterious unknown object drifting down to Earth from the sky. 3 stray dogs in the area run after the object and are watching it from below. The object drifts away and it doesn't become clearer what it is. It seems to shapeshift as it travels. Can you find any explanation for this flying object? Or are you as stumped as those in the comments? I'm not sure what this could be exactly, but one thing's for sure. This footage certainly is mysterious. Number 6. Glass Shards. Published by JD32199NS in July of 2013. This group was just playing around when evil struck them. In the clip, the guys explain that they're in their kitchen and they've been seeing some creepy stuff.
Yeah, we've been seeing some really creepy stuff. Real creepy stuff.
The guys ask the demons to give them a sign, and almost immediately a glass cup full of pens on the counter is flung to the floor.
You did that right?
No, I do.
Where it breaks, scattering the pens. The guys immediately flee from the room and decide to leave the house entirely. As they're fleeing, a pillow is thrown.
Out the back, out the back. Out the back, go, go, go.
Open the door, I think. No, front door. Go to Ralph's or something, dude.
What the?
That didn't do any damage, but the glass did. The uploader later wrote, I actually sustained several cuts from the glass as it was thrown past Stefan and shattered about 2 feet to Stefan's right. I literally felt small shards of glass penetrate my shirt, and I had to pull a lot of glass shards out of my feet. Lesson learned, Do not provoke the demons. Number 5, drawer chaos. A pair of pups got the fright of their lives when they brushed up against this poltergeist. Posted on the Paranormal Evidence subreddit, ACC6894 writes that his little brother and girlfriend came and saw the drawer was out and the radio was playing. They checked the home footage. This is what they found. The scary video shows 2 dogs watching something intently. That something is out of sight from this camera angle. After a moment, the dogs start whining, looking around the dresser. That's when an entire drawer catapults out, scaring them both and nearly hitting one of them. Some are pointing out a face in the mirror that appears when the dogs jump out of the way, but that looks like the dog's reflection to me. Others theorize that the dog's collar got caught on a drawer, but it certainly doesn't look like that's the case, and some are suggesting that a person hiding behind the dresser pushed the drawer out. Which theory do you lean toward? Number 4, the ringing phone. People in the comments call this some of the best paranormal footage anyone has ever caught on camera. Published by ILBM Bono Paranormal in November of 2021. This abandoned place in the middle of the forest is full of unpleasant surprises. As the cameraman is checking out some crumpled up papers he found on a shelf, he feels like he's being watched.
Hello? I swear I closed the door.
The man gives chase around the building and hears some strange noises that give him pause.
Here. What the f***?
He comes across a mysterious little doorway and again senses something behind him.
What was that sound? This freak. Some sounds. Hey.
Looking over his shoulder though, nothing's there. But things are about to get even more chilling. He rounds a corner and then a phone starts to ring. How and where is it coming from?
No, wait, this...
He follows the sound and finds it in a separate room. It's not even plugged in.
It's not plugged in.
In another room, he sees this. An unknown object stands up on its own and then falls down.
No. Okay, that... I saw it moving and I just completely...
That one seems to truly terrify him. Would this one send you running? I agree with the commenters when they say this is some of the best paranormal activity caught on camera. Number 3, paranormal kitchen. This kitchen looks like it might want to go knife throwing. Published in June of 2014, Anton Kolkov left his camera on all night after repeatedly hearing a mysterious noise. This is what he found. The light in his kitchen flickers on along with the light inside his stove. They both turn off, but then an electric candle flicks to life on top of the fridge. After a moment, the kitchen light flickers on again. Well, it seems like someone is blowing the candle flame. Then pure havoc breaks loose. It's just as Kolkov writes in the video's description. The soul goes to the heels in the literal sense. It appears that his analogy was spot on. Number 2, paranormal throwdown. What happens when the paranormal wants to throw down? Published by Jesus Inferno in November of 2017, this ghost has had enough. As this man is filming around his room, a bottle is thrown at him by an unseen force, or is the force unseen?
Recuenta, no entiendo, no sé ni qué creer, la verdad. Pero... No seas mamón.
Look in the window at around 40 seconds. Something appears there. The uploader says he lives on the second floor. Did the spirit manifest? And why is he behaving like this? Perhaps the whole place is haunted. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. Evil Game. Despite the title, this isn't a game. Originally published by Tim Morozov, if you dance with the devil, you're gonna get burned. In the clip, Tim is in a haunted home, tossing a ball into the air when he captures this on camera. The startling effect comes after Tim asks the demon to play and specifically asks him to take the ball. What force of nature is lying in wait in this home? Something must be haunting this place. I guess the next question is if it's friendly or evil. While many scary videos remain unknown, others capture the public's imagination in a way that goes viral. These 30 scary videos are going viral on social media.